Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my final video on the Creators Cook-Off. Obviously we've already gone through round 1 and 2, round 3 and 4, and now it's time for round 5, which was part of day 2. And the required challenge for this time was to build a deck around Erica's Vileplume EX. And this time, Joe drew the short straw, as he says in the intro part to the gameplay. I did draw the short straw and I had to face last year's winner, BluestoneTCG. And fair credit to Bluestone, you have my respect for, just being a nice bloke overall, treating everyone with respect, and most importantly, you play fast, so I can't argue with that. So as per mentioned in the last two videos, there will be a link to the timestamp to get us just straight into the gameplay, if you wish to do so. But for now, let's take a look at what Joe concocted for this challenge. So obviously the whole point of this challenge was we was meant to be using Erica's Vileplume EX. Now we've had a bit of a discussion of this card off camera and things like that, like what people did to obviously make this deck work. Now in the case of Bluestone, he had the ability to attack with this card, he just had to manually attach twice, which, he could have maybe played an E-switch or two, but, that's his choice at the end of the day, I'm not really bothered. He did use the card, so that's the important thing. But obviously, I wanted to accommodate for not only backup attackers, but also for Vileplume itself. So I went for Neo Upper Energy as my ace spec. This was not only to allow for Bloom Powder, which could obviously be quite useful with, Sleep and Poison, but obviously this also technically allows Arboliva to go for, a Rub Shot, but realistically I'm never going to use that. But obviously, as you can see, I didn't really play a high grass count, and I played Double Fire to allow for Moltres. Now, this is something that we've also been discussing as well, because there was a couple of deck lists that we saw with Flareon EX in it, and they had the ability to use Carnelian, which can obviously one-shot an Erica's Vileplume, and obviously things like Arboliva. So the only reason why I played Moltres is because, not everyone's going to go to Tealmass route, and I thought, well, just in case they do, I'll have it as an option. And if not, it's a Crispin target, because obviously we do have 2 grass and a colorless, which this can count towards. So that was my deck building process around that. Obviously, I went a 3-2-3 line of the Vileplume, obviously 1 Air Balloon, 4 Forest, but then as my backup attacker, well, one of my primary backup attackers, I had a 2-2-2 Arboliva line, and even though I had a blast playing Arboliva with Tealmass the other day, when obviously I did that as a video, yeah, the Arboliva's on my naughty list now, because I barely saw this card in the games, and the times when I needed it, when I could have nuked Bluestone's Erica's Odysseus, and, Badoo and things like that, Arboliva just never showed up, I'm playing Double Dawn, Quad Ultra Ball, Quad Bug Catching set, I even had a Hilda in here, just to help us find Neo Upper plus, whatever attacker I needed. I had Double Kang, Double Latias, Fez, I had a Blood Moon in case he was playing Tealmass as well. I even had a Meowth just to help cherry pick my supporters where I needed. And yeah, like I said, Arboliva was just not showing up, and it just felt really bad. And it's one of those that, like, I'm annoyed at it, but, my opponent, BluestoneTCG, was very respectful during the games. We had a great laugh afterwards, and I think he could visibly tell I was a bit frustrated after games, because obviously we did have a talk about the deck and everything, because we was posting our deck list after the rounds as well. And I think he could tell I was visibly frustrated, because, the only thing I didn't put in this list was recovery, but I didn't think I needed it. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, Moltres is for answering Tealmass. Arboliva is for answering Odysseus, because obviously I can take out 2 Odysseus in a single attack. Blood Moon is also for answering Tealmass in the late game. I had triple boss as well, so if I wanted to, trap his Pokemon, and obviously, Arboliva take out Oddish, Chikorritas and stuff like that. Even opposing Smolives if he went that route. But obviously, in the end, he went a Tealmass route with the, the Vileplume as a backup attacker and stuff like that, potentially. But, I had the Moltres, I had the Fire Energies, I had the Blood Moon, I had the Arboliva. I had what I thought was a perfect list to just, like, solidify, versatile attacking and, versatile options. But, like I said, it just felt like it was not meant to be because, I was whiffing so much on Arboliva. Moltres did do some good work in these games, but like I said, I'm a bit disappointed with this list not doing, the rounds that I thought it would have done. Because obviously round 2 was no items at all, so you had to play nothing but supporters, tools, stadiums, things like that. That would have been a really fun round that I'd have loved to have taken part in. And then, of course, round 3 was... I can't remember what round 3 was now. There was one round where we had we only had special energy, which was really cool. But, that was the finals and everything. But honestly, I'm really bummed out that I didn't get to, play a little bit further. But I suppose on the positive side, since it started at 5 PM my time, I at least got to go and have some dinner. So that's at least something, I guess. But, it's more the fact that I lost I lost because of how much I was whiffing. And, it's a card game. So at the end of the day, that happens, I'm afraid. But anyway, I'm going to head over to the matches now with me and BluestoneTCG. His channel will be linked in the description below as well. And well, like I said, I'm going to leave, I'm going to just leave it there because, yeah, this deck has really it's really left salt on the tongue, so to speak. But honestly, even though I did get knocked out in the first round, I was very happy with my result. I'm really proud of myself for getting that far. And, there are things in which, I could have improved on in this deck, but I think overall this was just a really fun tournament, and I'm really glad I got to take part. But anyway, I'm going to leave it for today. I'm going to hand you over to me and Bluestone, and I'll see you next time. And welcome to our first game in day 2. Unfortunately, Joe has drawn the short straw and paired against last year's winner, which, yeah, that's going to be a difficult one, but we will see what we can do. Let's see if Joe's cooked. And I'm going to go first, I think. Bluestone will not be in the VC with me. He is live streaming with Chef Husky. So we'll start the Mega Kangaskhan. And we've got a Mulligan. Excellent. Meganium package to be expected. Probably trying to attack with the Vileplume a little bit easier. We only get the one though, but obviously because we're going first, we do have an advantage here. Because whilst we're not playing much energy, we do play a spec that can help us with that. Ooh, Teal Mask. I was prepared for this, so that's good. We'll go for the run errand. Start us off. We'll go Benja Smoliv, Body Poffin, grab 2 Oddish. I'll attach to the Smoliv, Ultra Ball, Fez. And actually, do I want to play this now? Yeah, I think I can. Because I can grab... Do I want to grab Latias now? Because I've got an Arboliva line in here, and it's going to be very useful, I think. I think just for now, I'll grab a Latias. And pass it over to him. I must admit, even though I drew the short straw and I'm facing last year's winner, I do have a tech for this sort of approach, which is the good thing. But hopefully we can use Arboliva to get us some early prize cards and go from there, really. That's the idea. Because what we can do is we can attach an energy to Oddish, and then we can obviously, go from there. I'm kind of hoping he's not playing a Shaman. I don't obviously know if he is, but I'm kind of hoping he isn't. Obviously, I'm not looking at my phone or his stream. I don't do that, and I've made it this far without doing something like that. So, it's been a fun tournament, and obviously we're back in day 2. He's going to go for a Badoo, interestingly. Okay. Bug catching set. Another Teal Mask. That's fine. Teal Dance. Okay, he's going to bring up Badoo in a moment. Air Balloon to retreat into the Badoo. And he's going to item lock me. Fair enough. He's going to play a Pokepad first. Grab a Bayleaf. That is fine. And he's going to Itchy Pollen. Okay, let's see what we can do from here. I kind of suspected that there would be Teal Mask in this, but still. What I will do then is I'll attach to Oddish, bench Moltres and Lilies. I had a feeling that there'd be Teal Mask running around in this tournament. Yeah, we know. Run errand for 2. Got nothing off the run errand, which is unfortunate. Can Reckless charge for 30 and take out the Badoo, and I think I will. We'll go for the Reckless Charge, take out a Badoo. I think I'm fine with this, to be brutally honest. I think I'm fine with this. There's another Oddish out the prize cards. We have Crispin, so we can potentially get, you know, another energy onto this Oddish and go from there. And hopefully we can start to, you know, put some pressure on, which is a good thing. And he's going to stamp me, fair enough. I had a feeling he'd play that as his A-spec. Forest of Vitality and Crispin, though. That's good for us. That's good for us. And I love the fact, by the way, and if Bluestone, you are watching this, mate, I love the fact you're playing fast. You're not messing around. Love to see it. Is he going to attack with this Teal Mask? He is. But he hasn't supported for turn. He's just going to do that. Fair enough. We will bring up the Kangaskhan, because obviously we do get draw. So we will do that. Alright, so we get a buddy. We'll use that to grab an Oddish. Yeah, can I just say, I love the fact you're playing fast, mate. I know obviously you'll see this video a bit later, but the fact that you're playing fast is respected by me, is all I'll say. So then we'll run over for 2. I'm not going to put down Forest. Bug catching set. We'll get a Gloom. We'll evolve that. Through retreat, into the Moltres, and Fighting Wings. Take out the Teal Mask, take 2 prizes. I'm pretty happy with this. This is a good start. We're putting immediate pressure on, and like I say, I didn't know he was going to play Teal Mask, but most of these sort of like approaches to Erika's Vileplume that I remember, they do like playing Teal Mask Ogapon with Meganium to obviously help set up the attack a bit better. Like I say, I love the fact he's playing fast. It's absolutely brilliant to see. I love to see it. But that's what I want to see, you know. Like, I want to see, you know, what we can do with this sort of approach. Because obviously there's a lot to these games, you know. Like, it's not just as simple as, you know, Moltres into Teal Mask and I win. It's not that simple. There's a Teal Dance. He has to respond on this Moltres this turn. He can't leave it alive. It's a shame we didn't get to use the Arboliva package, but, well, could always come in handy next game. It's not a big deal. Does he have a Gus for maybe Latias? He hasn't supported yet, so he could still find a boss for the Latias. Because he's doing 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, so he can take out the Latias. If he chooses to do so. And nope, he's going to go for a Lilies. I've got to remember now, I don't actually know if I put Recovery in this list, but we will find out eventually. Down goes Moltres. We will promote the Kangaskhan. Let's see what we get off the Kang. There's a boss. So we'll run over for 2. There's a Hilda. We can Hilda now and grab an Arboliva and just machine gun the Meganium, which I think is fine, because then we're going down to 2 prize cards. So I'm going to play the Hilda. We'll grab a Arboliva plus a new upper. Did I put Recovery in this list? I did not. Ooh, that's bad. Right, well in that case, we'll go Evolve, Evolve, Attach for turn to the Vileplume, Lovely Fragrance, heal my Kang, and then I'll retreat into Arboliva and Oil Salvo. Because what I can do is I can put these below the Erika's Vileplume. So that's 60. That heals 30, don't it? So I need to put another one here, I think, because that will then go down to 160. And I'll put another one here. Oh yeah, I forgot I can't do that, but still, I need to put them on the Teal Mask, because then I can obviously use Bloom Powder to finish them off, in theory. I think we're going to lose Arboliva here, but hopefully we can get something going. Fingers crossed. Like I said, we have Boss, but the fact that I forgot to put Recovery in this list is quite concerning. But hopefully we have enough to, you know, offset this sort of math approach. I'm hoping we do. But I'm not hugely confident, I will say. Because if he attacks into the... How much damage is he doing here? So 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270. In fact, no, I don't have Big Enemy on my side. So it'll be 240. He's going to grab a Meowth. Let's see what he gets off the Meowth. He could play like Judge. Is one of the concerns. He could play Judge. Lana's Aid. Yeah, I should have put some of those in myself, mate. But, yeah, I don't think I put Recovery in this list, which is concerning, but we have enough attackers to the point where it's, like, not a major deal. But I do need to worry about it, so let's see how much damage you can do. So 30, 69, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300. Yeah, he's got it. Fair enough. So obviously, what that does mean is I can come up with the Erica's Vileplume. It's my bulkiest attacker here. I don't really have much of a choice. Okay, so I'm going to attach the Kang. Can't really do a whole lot else. I'm just going to Bloom Powder and hope he doesn't have enough. Alright, down to one prize card. And yeah, I've definitely not put Recover in this list. Now, for him to get there, he needs 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240. He can get there. I think he just needs to Teal Dance and attach and he gets it. I think. But we'll soon find out. I think that's all he needs. And yeah, I think he's got it. That's more than enough, I believe. Yeah, GG's to my opponent. That was a good game one. Playing very fast there, but obviously the fact that, well, to be fair, the recovery didn't hugely matter. But yeah, Tealmas just hit so hard, but kind of wish he would have attacked with it, but still. Let's go to a game two. Well, welcome back to game two. That was an unfortunate loss there, but Bluestone was A, playing fast, and B, he had the Tealmas package. Which, you know, we was playing around the Erica's Vileplume as best we could, but obviously, you know, it wasn't enough, unfortunately. But I've elected to go first, so obviously he gets the coin flip in his favour, so, you know, he will select second, because that's what I want to do. I want to go first to obviously get early setup, because if I can Arboliva him very early into the game, we are in a good position. And that is a mulligan. I mean, he kind of knows what I'm playing at this point. Same with me to him, you know. I know what he's playing. Okay, the Latias start is fine. Alright. And a Badoo starts. We need to play those bug catchings now. So we'll go bug catching, grab it double Oddish. Bench double Oddish. Bug catching set again. We'll take the Gloom. We can then Ultra Ball a Vileplume and a... I can get rid of... No, I don't want to get rid of Fez. I can spare a Gloom, I think. Because I need to get down. I think I just go into Kang and get more draw. Yes, I can get down a Smoliv, but I think at the minute that's not what I want. So I think we do that instead. So we'll go into the Kang. Run errand for 2. There's a Body Poffin, which we will definitely play. We will get down a Smoliv. And I'll leave it at that. And with that, we pass. Because now we can go Doliv onto Smoliv, Lilies, and then hopefully find a Grass Energy. Because obviously we're going to be under item lock during this first turn, so we need to consider that. But no, Bluestone was the opponent I was absolutely terrified to actually face, but, you know, I put up a decent fight there. I really wish I'd have attacked with a Vileplume. Like, I wanted to, like, do a bit of both, like, have, you know, the Smoliv, Doliv, you know, things like that. But hopefully I can punish the fact that his start here doesn't appear to be too amazing. Even with the Badoo item lock, we can go we can go Evolve Doliv into Smoliv, Lilies, and then we get Kang draw on top of that. So I'm kind of hoping we put the early pressure on, which is part of the plan. Because I can ignore the Badoo. I'm not too worried about this Badoo. But honestly, I'm not as, like, nervous now that I know what he's playing. He's going to just get down a Chikorita. Has he priced his Oddish? No, that's fine then. I was going to say. I'd be very worried if he did. But obviously now you can go for the Itchy Pollen and item lock us with the Kang. The nice thing as well is we're not really going to be attacking with a Kang in this matchup. We don't really want to. Because, you know, Kang is... I can set up Kang, but then we just get bonked by this, so I'd rather not. There's an Ultra Ball. Get rid of a bug catching set and a grass. He's going to grab another Teal Mask for a bit of extra draw. I don't blame him. Teal Dance. Draws another card. Attaches. Does he maybe have Energy Switch or something? Or does he not have a way to actually attack with a Vileplume? Alright, let's see what we can do. There's a Blood Moon, but I'm not going to need Blood Moon right now. But then let's Lilies. See what we get off the top. I was kind of hoping for a little bit better than that. Yeah, this ain't going to do it, Chief. Like I said, I could go in with Oddish again, but then I fall risk to, you know, Badoo item lock. The fact that we're whiffing on the Arboliva is just so bad, so I have to go for the Reckless Charge here. I just have to. I don't really have a choice here. I've just got to hope that he doesn't get a lot of draw off of, you know, what he gets here. Because I need him to keep these guys as little guys, so then Arboliva can just gun them down. But something tells me that's not going to happen. She's going to go into Bayleaf. Does he have the attachment for the Ogerpon with Teal Dance? No, he's not even going to Teal Dance. And of course he has the Stamp. Man's always got Stamp, I swear. Man's stacking his deck. Judge. Nah, he's playing like a trooper. I mean, Stamp just makes the most sense here. But, you know, there's not a lot I could remotely do when I've got a Teal Mask bearing down on me like this. There's Bug Catching Set. He has the Stadium, that just sucks, but hopefully he doesn't. There's Dawn. Because like I said, the problems are going to be the Teal Mask that we need to deal with. I'm not happy that I have to deal with Teal Mask doing, you know, Meganium shenanigans. But obviously we're going to lose an Oddish here, but I can afford to. It's not a big deal. I can even judge him this turn. There's Flip. But I think Flip, well, judging is bad because, you know, we need to see more cards. We don't have a lot going on. We have no Stadium. You know, like, we're not really doing a lot. There's another Teal Dance. Yeah, this is not good. There's the Gloom. I'm not confident. And he's just going to nuke my poor Oddish. Fair enough. Let's promote the Kang, and we'll see what we can do. Because obviously we do have top deck as well. Ultra Ball. I'm just going to play the Lily straight off the gate. Oh, this is not looking good. Yeah, this is not looking good. I have whiffed badly here. What realistically do I give him here? I don't really have any options here, because if I give him Latias, he just takes it out. If I give him Dolive, I just don't do anything. I'm just going to scoop it up. Nothing I can do here, unfortunately. When you go Lilies plus Kang, and you still get nothing, it just feels so bad. But that's me knocked out the tournament, unfortunately. Really unfortunate, but that's just the way the game goes. See you next time.